folks, it's the Red, and welcome back to the Crash Bandicoot Wrath of Cortex No Damage Run. So let's see, we've had Wizards and Lizards, the Gauntlet, and now we have level 23, Medieval Madness. They sure do like their medieval levels, don't they?
Bring it, you brain-dead Bandicoot.
So, Medieval Madness is another altasphere level, and honestly, you might recognize the music that plays here, because it's basically the same music that was played in the Gauntlet. This is what they wound up giving us for the Xbox and Gamecube versions, but the PlayStation 2 version had another theme entirely, and that's the version that we're going to be listening to this time. So, we're going to go ahead and go to the sound options, turn off the game music, and with the magic of video editing, we are now going to have the PlayStation 2's version while we play the Xbox version. So, as far as the beginning of the level goes, it's pretty wide, got a lot of boxes around here. It might make it a little difficult to be able to find them all, but if you follow the Wampas, you shouldn't have too much trouble. The thing is, there's a lot of splitting paths in this level that can make it a little difficult to track where all the boxes are. That's mainly the problem for your first time through. And also, it's getting a little noisy up ahead. Oh my god, why did they think it was a good idea to have this many of these things in one area? One of these is noisy enough, but hey, let's put 16 in one. I'm just glad the sound is turned down for this part, so yeah. Moving right along. Curiously, this version of the music that we hear in the PlayStation 2 version is the only one in that version of the game that loops properly. I already made the note that there is a rather glaring gap when the music loops during any of the tracks in the PS2 version, but this is the only song that doesn't do that. Also, curiously, Tiny actually makes more of an effort in the PS2 version to try and block you, like, in that version, he moves all the way to this wall to try and block you, but here he kind of stops short. The boxes here wind up making you think that you need to go up this slope, but no, actually you need to go the other way because this is where you're going to find all the rest of the boxes. Kinda sneaky. Do be careful around here because as you can see, the platforms that you need to go across here, they're kind of narrow, pretty easy to fall off. And then, of course, you want to watch out for these little pushers here that are going to push you off into the water down below. You can either go along the bottom here and move along the slope, or just ride along that upper wood part up there. I'm pretty sure you can get across that way as well. And don't fall here, otherwise you're going to have to try and navigate around the nitro to get back up. Now, here's where there was another change in the PS2 version. In the PS2 version, there were two of these platforms that we had to go across, but here on the Xbox, there was only one, and it goes up a little higher, making it easier to get to this platform. We also have these swinging wooden platforms. Careful here that it doesn't launch you off into the water there. And if you land on the other side, then you'll have to navigate around to these nitro crates to get over here. Also, this scrolling platform here that we're about to go on goes a lot faster on the PlayStation 2 version. They slowed it down on the Xbox and Gamecube, and we do need to come up here for a few boxes. Moving right along, we have another one of those lower paths that have a bunch of nitros on them, but this time we actually have to go down here because there's going to be a few boxes that we need to break at the very end of this. Kind of a mean placement if you ask me, but that's how it was designed, I guess. And yeah, here they are. Also, let's take a moment to appreciate the fact that we've got all these lovely portraits of all of our past enemies from the other games. Like this one over here. There's Komodo Moe and Komodo Joe. We haven't seen them in a while. And Tiny here is going to make things a little more difficult in order to get around, so we're just going to have to go to this side here and then very carefully move between the edge of the platform and him in order to get across. There we go. Alright. So now we can start making our way through the upper path. And up ahead, we're going to be encountering Dingodile. And right after him is Entropy. They will do their best to try and hit you. Try being the operative word here. And then the third nook has some boxes in it. We're starting to get pretty close to the end here, but now we have ourselves a sort of mini maze here. For the most part, you can follow this trail of Wumpa Fruit here until it gets to this split here. Just keep going straight. If you stick to the Wumpa Fruit path, it should take you out of the maze. The other paths will just lead you into Cortex's minions, who will have a chance to try and hit you with one of their attacks. And thankfully, there are no stray boxes hidden anywhere around here, so you don't have to worry about that either. But we follow the fruit, and it leads us... Oh man, that was close. Okay, yeah, we got ourselves the crystal, so let's go ahead and roll towards the end here. There's not really anything else hazardous that we need to look out for, as long as you don't go over the side of this little half pipe here. But then we just roll up this part of the hill, and there's the nitro detonator, as well as the final 8 boxes. Alright, so with that, we should have a gem waiting for us at the end. There it is. And we are all good here. So before we head into the portal, let me go ahead and go back down here and turn the game's music back on. I believe I had 75%. There we go. And let's get out of here. And with that, crystal in hand, gem in hand, we are done with Medieval Madness, and quite surprisingly, there were no outtakes this time. Yeah, I didn't really find this level to be all that bad, and honestly, I did play it a few times beforehand, so any outtakes that I would have had probably got brushed aside. But at any rate, it's a pretty fun level. It's a nice mix. So, thank you very much for watching. Hope you enjoyed it, and be sure to join us next time as we move on to level 24, Crate Balls of Fire. See you then!